Love is patient, love is kind. It does not envy, it does not boast, it is not proud. It does not dishonor others, it is not self-seeking, it is not easily angered, it keeps no record of wrongs. Love does not delight in evil, but rejoices with the truth. It always protects, always trusts, always hopes, always perseveres. Love never fails.
Another night it seems, I know that when it rings, it's you.
The thing I admire most about Tristan is one that he is super driven, and everything that he does it with his whole heart. He's super passionate, but not only that, but I love his love for God and just how he strives to be a godly leader in every aspect of his life, whether it be with the Air Force or with our relationship or just anything in general. And so that is something that I really look up to him for and just admire him in so many ways about.
Well, the first time I saw her, I don't know if she saw me, was my junior year, her sophomore year at the Student Council State Convention. We were there, and I just remember thinking that she was the prettiest girl that I'd seen in a long time, and just like, but a passing, like, wow, she is so pretty and beautiful, but, you know, I don't have the courage to step up and talk to a girl, so I just let it be and fester, and that was the first time that I ever saw her.
The first time I saw Tristan was actually at an ACT tutoring. I probably had seen him before, but this was the first time that I had really noticed him. We were both studying for our ACT, and I had seen him there with the same tutor. That was the first time I was like, he's really cute. Like, he goes to Bixby. I want to meet him, and it worked out, so.
I think I knew I was going to propose when we spent 15 hours in a car ride from Phoenix to Tulsa overnight. It started at 11 o'clock. I got in from Colorado Springs and landed at 11 in Sky Harbor, and then got in her car and we drove to my house. And knowing that I could handle, 15, 16 hours overnight, tired, with her in a car, and not be upset, and just be happy and be there. I think that's when I knew.
So the way Tristan proposed to me was really awesome. When we had talked about getting married, I always told him that when he asked me to marry him, that I wanted him to do it in a way that was us. And there was actually 2 rules. I said, either you ask me in a suit or you have your hat backwards, because I love him in a hat. And Tristan had this whole plan for like months that he was going to ask me to marry him, and I don't know how he kept it a secret. My entire family knew, his entire family knew, friends knew, and he kept it a really good secret. But on our way to him asking me to marry him and going on this hike, we decided to do a sunrise hike. And the week before, I had had the flu, and I did not want to go on a hike, and Tristan had to talk me into it. He's like, let's go on a hike, like, it will be fun. And I'm literally sitting here thinking, like, I just got finished being sick. Like, no, I do not want to go on a hike. But he begged me, and I was like, okay, we'll do it. So, but he didn't start off with like, hey, let's go on a sunrise hike. He just like kind of wedged in there, like, let's do a hike. And I'm thinking, yeah, we'll go at like 11 o'clock. And then the night before we leave for the hike, he comes over to me and he's like, hey, we should go for a sunrise hike, like leave at like 5 a.m. And I was like, no. And took a while to convincing me, and I was like, fine, we'll go on a sunrise hike. So we wake up, we leave for the sunrise hike, and we stop at Quick Trip to get some food ahead of time, and I end up buying some grapes. And so we get in the car, and I'm eating these grapes on our drive to Camelback Mountain, and I like start tasting them. I was like, Tristan, these grapes are really disgusting, like something's wrong with them. And he's like, yeah, they're not very good, but I didn't have anything else to eat, so I was like, I'll just eat them. So I ate all the grapes, we start hiking, and I start getting really sick. And so halfway up this hike, I just start puking. And Tristan is like, oh, yeah, it's around, like, it's okay, are you fine? And I'm like, oh, no, it's good, like, we gotta make it up the mountain, like, we're already halfway there. And if you can picture this, like, I'm having a flashlight, Tristan's got, like, a headlamp on, and we're, like, walking up in the dark, and I'm just, like, puking over this mountain. All these grapes that I ate, and I'm like, no, let's keep going. And so we keep hiking, and little did I know, behind me Tristan was actually like Snapchatting the entire thing of like, oh, we're almost there, like we're just a few more minutes, and I had no idea. And so we finally get up to the top of the mountain, and I am just like so sick because it's a pretty tough hike. And I'm throwing up, and then Tristan decides it's a great time to take a picture. And so I was like, okay, let's take a picture. So he sets up his GoPro, because we usually take pictures at the top of each hike, so I didn't think anything of it. And so we take a picture together, and then we sit down, and we're just enjoying it because the sun is starting to rise. And he pulls out his Bible, and he's like, so I tricked you into doing a Bible study with me. And I started laughing, and I was like, okay, yeah, let's do it. So I sit down, and he hands me his Bible, and he had it bookmarked at 1 Corinthians 13. And I was like, is this where you stopped? He's like, yeah, I stopped reading at 12. And I was like, okay, so I'll read 13. And so I started reading it, and right when I started reading it, it's the whole chapter in the Bible about love. Love is patient, love is kind. And as I'm starting to read this out loud to him, I'm just thinking, oh my gosh, it's happening. He's about to ask me to marry him. Oh my goodness, like I just knew it at that moment. And I don't even know what I read. I was just like thinking about what was gonna happen. And then I finished, because I'm like, what do I do now? So I hand him the Bible. I was like, all right, your turn. And so he closes it, and he just is like, starts to tell me all the things that he loves about me. And we had always discussed the moments when you know that you want somebody to marry you, or the moments that you know that person's going to be here forever. And he started telling me the moments that he just knew that he wanted me to be his wife. And so at this point, we're like sitting at this mountain, the sun's rising, and I'm just bawling, and Tristan's crying. And so then I could tell he like reaches in his pocket. I know that he's about to ask me, and I'm sitting down, so I'm like, I can't be sitting for this. And so I just stand up, and I'm like standing there, and then he asks me, he's like, will you marry me? And I didn't even look at the ring, nothing, just put it on my hand. And we both jumped up, and we just started like crying together. And it was just really sweet, because I mean, this is a pretty popular like mountain to hike on, and there was no one up there, and the sun was like right behind Tristan as all of this was happening. And it was just absolutely beautiful, and he couldn't have done it in a more perfect way, even despite the grapes. So. Not doing long distance.
That's good. I'm excited for like grocery trips, because there's been times when we've gone shopping with the family.
Grocery shopping?
Well, we go shopping and we go, and it's fun because it's just like we get to do everyday life together, and it's like, yeah, people are like, oh, it's grocery shopping and it's mundane, but you know, we haven't got to do that for 4 years. So
I hate grocery shopping. It's like Tristan, when you ask him when he's excited to graduate, he's like, I just can't wait to mow my lawn. And I'm like, what?
I'm just ready to do normal things.